In the summer of 1830, in the midst of a lot of persecution, Joseph receives 3 revelations highlighting how members can help sustain each other in their service in the church. In section 26, in verse 2, it says, "All things shall be done by common consent in the church by much prayer and faith." It seems like the Lord is trying to teach Joseph that it's important in these early days of the church that they set the pattern of common consent. Well, a lot of us look at common consent and we think that's the sign when we raise our hand when someone is presented in church that we support. But in section 25, what we learn is there's much more than just the sign of common consent, but substance and attitude or action referring to how we sustain one another in our callings. We have a very unique verse in 5, "And the office of the calling shall be for a comfort unto my servant Joseph Smith Jr., thy husband, in his afflictions, with consoling words in the spirit of meekness." What I think is so fascinating about this verse is that it says, "Be a comfort unto my servant Joseph Smith, thy husband." It's as if the Lord wanted Emma to know that first, she wanted him to focus on his calling and his role as leader in establishing this new church, the restored church, his church on the earth today, and that she was to be a comfort to him in his calling. Joseph talks about this comfort. Again, she is here, even in the 7th trouble, undaunted, firm, and unwavering, unchangeable, affectionate Emma. When the Lord also gives Emma instruction on how she can serve in the church, you can imagine that she probably felt overwhelmed with all the different ways that the Lord was suggesting that she serve. But the Lord also gives her comfort in her calling. In verse 9 we read, "And thou needest not fear, for thy husband shall support thee in the church." What we learn is that the Lord wants us to support one another and comfort one another in our callings and in building up his kingdom of God on earth.